Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. We gamers are a frivolous species. We need everybody to know how much we enjoy wasting money. So not only do we buy a bitch load of games, but we also buy merchandise for those games. Stuff that we can slap onto our shelves that screams, "Don't have sex with me." And it works. I don't want anybody to ever doubt that I play video games. I need everybody to know what I'm about. F it, Mario calendar. If I'm not being told it's June by Super Mario Galaxy 2, I don't even want to know. If there's a quicker way to get depressed, I'd like to hear it. Gaming merchandise is something that every self-respecting video game player has been suckered into buying at some point. You wake up feeling happy and end the day off with a Sonic piggy bank. It can't be helped. Now, I'm not talking about the viral game merchandise, because honestly, they deserve a discussion of their own. Burning them counts as a discussion, right? No, today we're going to be taking a look at the real stuff. Products that appeal to us hardcore gamers. Stuff in the same league as Donkey Kong's socks. Now, I'm not a particularly secretive person when it comes to my spending habits. Look, Dad, I gave up. So it shouldn't come as a surprise when I say that I'm very much a fan of gaming merchandise. In fact, I've spent more of my life collecting gaming merchandise than collecting the games they're associated with. No, I'm not buying Mario Kart 8. I'm too busy buying Iggy Koopa. Taking one glance at my collection will make you want to get a restraining order against me, but it should also make you realize that I have a pretty hefty bias in terms of which series I've collected merch for over the years. When it comes to Mario merchandise, I have very specific turn-ons. Take any enemy from the series, turn it into a plush, and give me some time alone with them. We spend so much time in the games staring at Mario, and man, are my retinas ever sick of seeing that damn red hat everywhere. I think objectively speaking, the Koopalings are far and away the best enemy plushes I own. I absolutely adore these things. Lemmy and Ludwig are the best, nobody will change my mind. But I think my personal favourites of the enemy collection are these three new Super Mario Bros. DS plushes: Goomba, Petey Piranha, and Balloon Boo. From what I understand, these guys, and the rest of the line they come from, are decently rare nowadays. I got these three together with the Mega Mushroom on an eBay bid, and that was one of the best days of my 10-year-old life. I'd love to get my hands on the rest of the set someday. This Earth will be haunted to if I go my whole life without owning Casino Luigi. These guys were made by Banpresto, who've made a lot of plushes and figures of Nintendo series, but I've got to be honest, they're kind of on the lower end of the quality spectrum in my eyes. Don't get me wrong, they've made some really good stuff, and they probably have the longest history of making Nintendo merchandise, some being based on games as early as Mario 3. But a lot of their stuff just feels kinda mediocre. So for my money, I would take plushes made by Sane any day of the week. These guys are pretty much Nintendo's go-to plush providers nowadays, and have worked with an absolute boatload of their series. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Kirby, Pikmin, Animal Crossing, Splatoon, hell, even Fire Emblem. The stuff these guys create is some of the highest quality stuff on the market. Now, of course, I'm a bitch, so let's talk about Mario some more. The latest and greatest in the realm of Sane and Italians is the Mario Plush All-Star line, which is such a neat concept, making plushes of a vast number of characters from the entirety of the series under one unifying brand. I want them all, please God, help me. But honestly, I think I might be more fond of some of their earlier works, specifically the new Super Mario Bros. Wii and Super Mario Galaxy sets. For the former, I have the full set apart from that goddamn piss-coloured fungus, and these things hold such a special place in my heart for some reason. I can't even properly describe why. And the Super Mario Galaxy set is one that I've had my eye on for many a year, but sadly have been unable to get my hands on. These guys are so damn cool, man. My favourite has to be B Mario, purely because I never would have expected a plush of that power-up of all things. Boo Mario is a close second, but the problem is, these guys are stupid hard to come by, and even if you manage to find one, they're wicked expensive nowadays. But believe me, I'll have them all one day. In terms of non-Mario stuff they've done, I absolutely adore their Pikmin line, but sadly, I haven't been able to get my hands on any of them as of yet. Their Animal Crossing line is also a treat, and I have a few of these guys. Tom Nook, Isabelle, KK Slider, the New Horizons variants of Timmy and Tommy, pretty much the bread and butter of any Animal Crossing collection. But I think some of the rest of the line are a lot more appealing, such as Brewster, Cap'n, and the entirety of the wave of New Horizons plushes that released in summer 2021. But if there's one series of Nintendos that has received more merchandise, particularly in the form of plushes, than any other, then it would probably not be Kirby, but let's discuss him anyway. Kirby is a prime candidate to be made into something children might cuddle. I mean, look at him. Tell me you wouldn't want to put your head in this thing. The only plushes I have from this series are this King Dedede from the recent Kirby All-Stars collection from Sané, and this guy is so cool. Very obviously inspired by the Kirby's Adventure Wii design of King Dedede. Now, of course, you may be asking, how can you tell? Because they keep making random-ass design changes to this fucker. Kirby Star Allies is a good enough game in my opinion, but why was this necessary? Now, a Dedede plush that I think most will swing for is this one that released in around 2007 from what I can tell. I don't know for sure that it was made by Sané, but I for sure can't find who did make it. This guy is the apple of many Kirby collectors' eyes, and for good reason. He is an absolute beaut, and very clearly based on the Kirby Right Back At Ya design of King Dedede.
I can tell you which Dedede design a plush is based on like my life fucking depends on it.
From the same set as this guy, I have the Kirby and Meta Knight plushes. I love them, and I swear to God, I have this Waddle Dee plush. I just don't know where the hell it is. I have been looking for over a year at this point, and I would buy a new one, but I need surgery.
The vasectomy didn't cure my asthma. Life is meaningless.
If you let me, I could talk about gaming-related plushes for eons, because I'm what, like 5? But I think it's time we take a look at their plastic compadres. I don't have nearly as many gaming figures as I do plushes. I'm not counting Amiibo here, even though I think most people probably would, because again, these guys deserve a discussion of their own. But I'll say as much as that they've taken over my life and living space. In terms of figures that I do count, I have a fairly small collection.
Ooh! It's time to go for a new high score.
But the ones I do own, I display proudly, and I absolutely adore these things. I think it says a lot that the first gift I ever remember receiving was this exact Mario figure, and he's been a cherished part of my collection ever since. I got my hands on the rest of this series not too long after, and man, these are probably some of the most accurate Mario figures in terms of sculpt, and they're so unbelievably nostalgic for me. I remember seeing them in an Argos catalogue around Christmas time, which cemented in my mind that I needed to have them all. I did it. You know a piece of Mario merchandise is from the 2000s when you see this Mario render. He looks so stale. I'd love to have these guys in box one day just to cater to my inner child. But unfortunately, these are some of the most bootlegged figures out there, and finding genuine figures in the box, I'm not holding my breath. Another couple of figures I've had for longer than I can remember are these Mario and Luigi figures doing some badass poses. I have these on display. I'm so fucking cool. What the hell happened to Luigi's hat, you may be asking? A hamster happened to Luigi's hat.
Context is for bitches.
Some of the most interesting figures to me are the ones that I'll never get my hands on, like this Luigi's Mansion figure that comes with an actual ghost, and this Super Mario Sunshine figure that comes with an actual Yoshi. These figures were released through the Nintendo Power magazine, and they are sick, to put it lightly. But like a lot of the stuff I've talked about so far, they're stupid expensive nowadays. The Mario Kart 64 series is an absolute treat. These are pretty much the only figures that exist of the N64 era designs of the Mario gang, and having each of them come with their own car is so fun, and they're so much better than the damn Hot Wheels figures. By far the greatest Mario figures I own, however, are the SH Figuarts Mario figures. These figures are absolutely glorious, man. They aren't perfect by any means, but they're absolutely blissful. All of the accessories they come with make for some pretty neat displays. The posability is on another level, Yoshi is flimsy and likes to lose his limbs, and Bowser feels a bit tiny. Again, I will reiterate, I love these things. Scale is something I really care about with figures. With plushes, it's a lot more excusable when the scale isn't 100% accurate because, well, they're plushes, man. Look at this. It's natural. But with figures, there's no damn excuse, man. Make Bowser bigger! Maybe not that big. Jakks Pacific started the World of Nintendo line in about 2013, 2014 or so. And to this day, this line is still some characters' only form of merchandise. The idea for this was perfect, having each wave of figures consist of characters from any and all of Nintendo's series. And they were all so well made.
Oh my god, this line's amazing! This line's okay.
Yeah, they ended up ditching the world of Nintendo branding, and now it's just another line of Mario figures, and I'm under the opinion that these figures are fine, but they need to stop doing re-releases and give us the rest of the Koopalings. Back in the early days though, this line was superb. Some of the Zelda figures were a little flimsy for my liking, and the only Samus figure that ever interested me was this one with a metal coating that was infinitely better than this orange sack of shit. The big figures though, ooh la la. The Metroid, Ganondorf, Donkey Kong, Bowser, I love them. Why is it so hard to find any of the Star Fox figures? Plain Jane Fox? Everywhere. But Falco and Slippy Toad? You'd be more likely to become a US president than getting your hands on these things, and either way you'd be miserable. But it's okay, Rawk. Have 2 peppy hair figures and feel better, you little bitch.
Fine.
Now, instead of figures, for my money, I'd much rather have a nice-ass statue. Because look at this. It's scary as shit, but it's beautiful! These things are naturally pretty pricey, but that's a lot easier to swallow considering some of the statues available could fill a room all on their own. First 4 figures is the go-to for this kind of stuff, and I really wish I had more of their stuff in my collection. Now, is there anything I won't collect? Nendoroids. Don't like them. I have Sonic, I have Toon Link, and they're not really my thing. Now, pop figures are pretty much the bane of my existence. I've actually gotten to a point where I kinda hate them. Every game shop you go to has more of these things in them than actual games. But that doesn't mean I've always been immune to them. Overwatch, pop figures. God, meeting of the fucking evils. I got these things during my Overwatch phase, from 2016 to present. But I'll admit, I like them. I have limits, I swear.
Yep, it's hard to put off for much longer. Pokemon.
I've never been a huge Pokemon collector, probably because I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, and I enjoy not being in debt. There's just so many damn Pokemon. If I wanted to go down a similar rabbit hole I have with Mario, wanting a piece of merchandise for every character, I'd be f***ed before I even began, man. But just like death, owning some form of Pokemon merchandise is inescapable. I spent £20 on a pink blob. Plushes pretty much make up the extent of my Pokemon collection, and my god, calling it a collection is a stretch.
God, I'm such a desk collector. I mean, I have this one.
Pokemon and figures have never really gelled super well in my opinion. Even with the more realistic and gritty Pokemon designs, they work so much better as plushes. And also as pajamas.
Yeah, I suppose it's about time we talk about the modern gaming merchandise!
Damn, I didn't want to drink coffee until I saw I could do it through Tom Nook. Modern gaming merchandise, for the most part, has taken a nosedive in terms of quality in my opinion. Gaming is bigger than it's ever been. So tell me why now is the time to slap video game characters on every form of concrete matter and call it a day. Every single shop you go to, there's a row of t-shirts with lame-ass gaming puns on them. Look at me, I'm wearing a PlayStation controller, please like me.
If you think wearing a PlayStation controller will make people like you, try eating one.
But seriously, man, so much modern gaming merchandise feels so lazy and soulless. Like, fun fact, some people buy gamer pillows and feel content with their lives.
I struggle with human interaction.
Like, are they okay? Man, I want to get some sleep, but my head isn't touching a switch. Perfect. I hate most of this junk, and the worst part is, that's pretty much all shops carry nowadays. Once again, this shit can sometimes take up more space than the actual video games. I don't want an Uncharted beanie, I want Super Monkey Ball! And what baffles me is that these things obviously sell, or companies wouldn't still be making them. There are people who look at Snorlax slippers and say,
"This is great, but girls are scary."
And they must be pretty damn plentiful plentiful because the actual, well-made and super thoughtful merchandise is not readily available. I always find myself wondering why some of the older plushes I've talked about are so expensive and rare, and then I realise shops would rather push Animal Crossing notebooks and Fallout socks than the merchandise that is actually legitimately good and worth your money. A lot of companies specialise in making super good merchandise for relatively dormant franchises. Just look at Fangamer. They've made some absolutely sublime Banjo-Kazooie plushes, but the only way you can get them is by going online and praying they're in stock. But because of the shaky sales history of this kind of merchandise, there usually isn't much stock. But Amazing Gaming plushes have only had a shaky sales history because stores don't want to fucking sell them! The Super Mario Galaxy plush set could have and would have sold like crazy, I guarantee it! The Wii was a phenomenon and Super Mario Galaxy was the biggest game on the system. But shops just didn't want to carry these things, so now I have to spend £200 just to have B Mario in my life!
And that's the biggest issue here. Companies look at people who play video games and immediately think they're dumb enough to buy worthless shit with a random gaming character or logo slapped onto them. Like, what do you mean you don't want to put Angry Birds on your arse? There is a good side to gaming merchandise, and it's amazing. But the problem is, most major retailers don't want to cater to those kinds of products. Why would they want to sell Zelda statues or Mario plushes when they can just squirt out Pokemon pajamas and make so much more money from that? So that means if you want to get your hands on the good stuff, you have to either go online, which makes you so much more susceptible into being scammed into buying something that isn't the real deal, or you have to go so far out of your way to find an actual shop that sells these items, only for it to smell like an ashtray inside. How do you have time to smoke 40 a day? You should be gaming! So, in conclusion, video game merchandise is keeping me alive. Just because I need oxygen to live doesn't mean I can't be critical of it.